purposes for which you started out. Now, when considering either a hybrid or a completely online event, it's important to consider the different mediums of communication you're employing. A stage in front of 50,000 people in an arena versus small screens in front of 1 million people are two entirely different mediums. Although the latter is reaching a much bigger audience, a small screen is always a much more intimate medium and requires an approach where the audience is being addressed in a more direct, one-on-one manner, much like I'm doing now. When considering your lineup, also consider how you're going to communicate to both audiences most effectively, and consider how your lineup is going to do this. Audience engagement is important in both mediums of communication. Now, it's clear to all of us that the world was taken by surprise by the COVID-19 pandemic. And the one question that we've received more than any others throughout this time is predicated on the longing to return to in-person events, but then people say how things will change in a post-COVID world with regard to online events. And our response has long been that we also long for the return to in-person events that we're seeing now. However, online events are not going away. Even before COVID, the online component of events was increasingly in demand, and the complexity was also increasing. So this is an area you shouldn't ignore for too much longer. So that's pretty much all there is for this section. So let's go through our checklist. So, you figured out the reasons why you're doing your event. The next thing you need to figure out is how to communicate what you're doing to your intended audience to ensure the right people are at your event. Although this is a little bit of a simplistic take, the human dynamics of any event remain pretty consistent, whether you're a nervous high schooler wanting to pull off the student event of the century, or gathering 80,000 into a football stadium, or hosting an online event of any size. It really is true if you get that school quarterback and cheerleader and their buddies, people start paying attention no matter what demographic you're trying to reach. The quarterback may be different for different audiences, and you may have to be ready to communicate these nuances in language that your particular audience understands and connects with. But outside of these communication differences, other dynamics are actually often the same. The bottom line is that getting people to an event typically revolves around a number of rather similar factors. So let's consider the reasons why people register, buy tickets, and eventually attend an event. And these things are things that you need to consider in your networking and marketing as you prepare for your event. Number one, people will come to see a VIP, a favorite musical act, an influencer, a subject matter expert. That stage lineup is important. Number two, people come to learn. They're going to be equipped at your event. Number three, often people will register to create memories and experience a unique moment of high emotion. That might be a rock band. Number four, for the networking opportunities, often at expo events. Number five, to support a cause. Number six, to be at the event of your tribe, your affinity group, the annual get-together. Number seven, because friends and colleagues are going to the event and people want to be there and belong to the group. Number eight, people go to be inspired and get a kickstart, a kick up the backside in a particular area. And number nine, people go to be entertained. Often the reasons why people eventually attend are a combination of a number of these factors, and even more mundane reasons can just nudge a person over that finish line into actually buying a ticket. Now, we've talked about marketing, and it may start with emotion, narrative, and vision, and these are all great things, but the mechanics of getting the right amount of people to your event are just that, mechanics. And after a number of events, you will typically be able to estimate the percentage of people who will show up when comparing that to the number of people who have registered. So if you have a free event, it might be, we typically get 50 to 60 people, 60% of people who register who actually attend. Or if you have a paid event, it might be 85 to 95% of people. Also, the same dynamics of giving attendees a nudge to register with tools like giving a price break for early bird purchases, maybe a coupon code or an opportunity to be part of an exclusive component of the event, like a VIP group. They're seemingly mundane, but they can be surprisingly effective. Therefore, it's important to employ a number of marketing strategies when inviting your potential audience. Communicating both the high-level narrative that we've talked about, as well as these more mundane tool nudges on timing, cost,